4 occupied regions in Ukraine, which include parts of Zaporizhzhia, Luhansk, Donetsk and Kherson, have been officially incorporated into Russia. President Vladimir Putin earlier signed treaties to formalize their annexation at a grand ceremony held in the Kremlin. The Russian leader was seen joining hands with the 4 Moscow-appointed heads of each of the regions, all of them chanting Russia alongside a jubilant crowd packed with hundreds of Russian elites. With the annexation, around 15% of Ukrainian territory is set to come under the control of Moscow. That's about the size of Hungary. In his speech earlier, Mr. Putin repeated a call for Kyiv to cease all military action and return to the negotiating table, but not without warning that some areas of discussion will continue to be off-limits.
Мы призываем киевский режим немедленно прекратить огонь, все боевые действия, ту войну, которую он развязал еще в 2014 году, и вернуться за стол переговоров. Мы к этому готовы. Об этом не раз было сказано. Но выбор народа в Донецке, Луганске, Запорожье и Херсоне обсуждать не будем. Он сделан. Россия его не предаст.
Stuart Smith explains to us the significance of President Putin's earlier speech.
Well, it's quite concerning, especially when listening to the Russian president just now. The statements he's making do not sound like statements that would come from someone who's celebrating so much a victory as preparing a country for potentially far more difficulties to come. He's talking about in this speech the danger that the West poses to Russia. He's claiming that the West wants to turn Russia into a colony, that turn Russians into a crowd of soulless slaves. He says for the West, Russia provides a direct threat and therefore Russia may need to respond. He said that of these 4 regions that are about to become Russia when this document is signed and the legislative procedure goes through the parliament, so likely middle of or late next week, that these regions will be protected as if they are Russia. They will be protected with the full force of Russia's might. And in the context of these statements, where the West is being blamed for all manner of problems within Russia and for global issues, that is a concerning statement, because ultimately Russia is a nuclear power and it does, in its constitution, maintain the right to use nuclear weapons if its territory is threatened. And as of next week, its territory will include regions which are not even fully under the control of Russia's armed forces. And so what at that point happens, as one separatist official says, when the Ukrainian forces become perceived as terrorists in Russian territory? It's not clear what the answer will be from Russia, but from this speech, the president is no way backing down.